And Liz Truss has been accused of the worst possible crime you can commit as leader of the Conservative Party, actually being right-wing. Leo.
Yeah, so according to Liberal Democrat leader Ed Davey, he said Liz Truss is leading perhaps the most right-wing government in modern British history, with an economic plan shaped by ideology rather than evidence. Ed Davey said he's said that he's warned that she's right-wing. Instead of celebrating the fact that finally, after 20 years, we've finally got an actually right-wing Conservative leader. Imagine that, a Conservative government.
With a small c.
With a small c.
For the linguists out there. Language people.
Yeah, it's a big C as well, isn't it, really? If you can in the Conservative Party, it's a big C and a small c, one hopes.
But we've seen since Cameron...
you're wrong.
Those two pedantic.
You're wrong. I was thinking of that word, but I've never used that word. I don't like people who use that word.
You're both correct and totally off topic.
No, I was saying the way he was meaning it. He was saying it's good to have a conservative.
Yeah.
Right, so I was...
Yeah, you're both right. And basically, I think since Cameron brought the Tories into power or into coalition government, we've had a big sort of a high tax, high spend, hug-a-hoodie Conservative government. Now we're going to have an actual sort of Adam Smith Institute Conservative government, which I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, but the point is that who's making this complaint is the Liberal Democratic leader, right?
Do they still exist?
Exactly.
Yes, their conference was cancelled for the funeral and no one noticed.
Yeah.
Carry on, Lewis.
And it was more depressing.
And he was saying the Lib Dems are going to do a much better job because they're going to focus, if they were in power, on insulating homes, which, of course, is very good when you're basically starving to death.
Yeah, I mean... I'm a bit sceptical. I mean, it comes from the Lib Dems, so do we really care that they think it's right-wing? Because really, they went off the deep end and went incredibly left-wing ever since Joe Swinson.
Yeah.
And there's a certain irony also in the fact that Liz Truss was a Lib Dem, and now she's being condemned by the Lib Dems for being so right-wing. But I'll believe it when I see it. I'm not convinced this government... Are you actually convinced, Leo, this government will actually be that right-wing?
Yeah, I think they will. I mean, certainly Liz Truss, she's surrounded herself with people who match her ideology, and I think there's a real chance to have a Britain that's focused on growth instead of just this stultifying sort of big spending government. Because whenever the government spends money, it spends it on absolute nonsense and wastes it, and low tax. If people have money in their pockets, they spend it much more wisely than the government and stimulate much more economic growth and much more productivity in the economy.